So I've been doing these vlogs for a little bit of time now, 3 of them, and I realized that people maybe don't know very much about me personally, my background and things like that. So I thought I would dedicate this vlog to letting you know who is Mr. Bill Poker.
Mr. Bill Poker. Who?
I am 55 years old and I grew up in Ohio, but I've lived in the great state of Texas for 31 years now. I didn't think I would like it when I first came here, but I absolutely love it. I've been married for 25 years to my wife Vicki. We have 2 kiddos. Both are in college. My eldest is a daughter who's at Baylor University getting her master's degree in accountancy, and my youngest one plays NCAA soccer at Dallas Baptist University, and he's a sophomore. This is our dog Buddy. Buddy is 7 years old. He's a dorky. He's a half Dachshund. He's part Dachshund, part Yorkie. He actually looks a lot more like a Yorkie than a Dachshund. His sister looked just like a Dachshund though. Kind of interesting. Maybe later we'll show Buddy. Do you want to show him? Buddy, do you want to show him some of your tricks later? You want to show him some of your tricks? Okay, maybe we'll do that. You're a good boy. So I firmly believe in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge Him in everything that you do, and He will make your path straight." For me, the thing that sticks out about that is acknowledging God. So basically everything that I have, I give glory to God that He has given to me. So how I got started? Well, we were a family that played games all the time. We played Monopoly, we played other board games, and we played cards. So when I was about 11 years old, my mom had a bridge game, and when somebody was late, they would ask me to join in, and they taught me how to play bridge. So I learned bridge relatively early. Unfortunately, my mom and dad got divorced when I was relatively young, but I spent a lot of nights at my dad's house, and my dad was a pool player and a card player, and he was very, very good. So I remember staying up nights with my dad. We'd stay up until 4 or 5 in the morning playing gin, and so he taught me a lot about cards that way. So in high school, I had a job at a pizza place, and I would work until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on the weekends. But after we got done, somebody would always phone in an order for a pizza that just happened to be not picked up. And we would take that pizza over to my buddy's house, Dave, and we would play cards until 5 or 6 in the morning, pretty much every Friday and Saturday. Played stupid games, night baseball and one-eyed jacks or wild and stuff like that. But I learned a lot. I played a lot of cards when I was in high school. After college, I really didn't play. I got involved in the church again, and I just felt compelled that I shouldn't be playing, so I didn't play for 25 years. In 2011, though, I started playing in some charity tournaments, and then I started playing a little bit online, and I didn't feel like it was wrong for me anymore. So I continued to play, played until Black Friday online, and then since there was no online after that, I started playing in live games. So I've been playing in live games since 2012, and so that's what, about 6 years.
Buddy, who's excited about doing their tricks? Who wants to do their tricks?
Roll over. Roll over. One more. Roll over. Roll over. Roll over. You got onto the... Can you crawl? Crawl.
I am not a professional by any means. I have a full-time job. I'm a software developer. I've been doing it for 31 years for Sabre here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I am definitely a passionate amateur though, and I play at least once or twice a week, and I study all the time. It's definitely a passion for me. So have I been successful? Well, success is measured in multiple ways. So in tangible ways, I've played a little over 6 years, and I've only ever had one losing year. I've done really well. I've made enough money to put one of my kids through college, so that's really good. I played in 7 WSOP events. I've cashed in 3. One of them was just a minimum cash, but the other 2 are good runs. In 2014, I came in 9th place in the $3,000 Six Max, and you can see by the players who I've got on this list over here. Look at the players I was playing against. It was definitely tough competition. I was actually the chip leader with 12 left. Unfortunately, I went out ninth. If I'd only known then what I know now, I would have done a lot better. But that's the way it goes. And then last year, 2017, I came in 44th place out of 53.89 in the seniors event. And at the end of this vlog, I'm actually going to go through a hand from that tournament as a hand analysis. I also came in first place at the WinStar River, one of the events, not the main event, but one of the events. It was again another 6-max. I'm pretty good at those. I've had numerous other cashes in local tournaments and my leagues and all that kind of stuff. So I've done very, very well there. I've also been a consistent winner in the cash game. So have I been successful? Yeah, everything's relative, but I've done pretty darn well. So the intangible things are almost more important than what has happened tangibly. So the intangibles, I have made some great friends. In fact, some of the people that I just hang out and do things with are the ones that I've met at the poker tables. The other thing is I'm getting to do something that I'm passionate about, I have fun with, I enjoy being around other people. So it's just a great time for me. And so to do something that you really, really are passionate about and you love, and then to also be successful financially is just fantastic.
Lay down. Play dead. Stay there. I really did. Stay there. Good boy.
I've had some people say, hey, Mr. Bill, describe your game, which is very, very difficult to do. And the reason why is because there's really not one description. It very much depends on the game I'm playing in, the stakes that I'm playing in, who are the other players at the table, do I know them or not know them. However, I would say in general, or how I would like to be known, I'd like to be known as the chameleon. Somebody who you can't figure out what they're doing. And I'm sometimes successful at that, sometimes not so much. Here's what some other guys might think.
Describe what it's like to play against Mr. Bill.
He's gonna catch the river.
Mr. Bill is one of my favorite opponents.
Describe Mr. Bill's poker game.
Okay. Intriguing is a good word. It's aggressive passive. If you show passiveness, he gets aggressive. But if you're willing to be walked over, he'll walk over you.
So for me personally, I have rules. If I'm going to play, then I have to follow these rules. I also tell my son, who's 20 years old, who is playing, these rules also. I have many, many more rules than what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to give you the top few rules that I have. Number one is have fun. Man, it's a game. Life's too short. Be the person at the table that you would want to play with. Nobody wants to play with grumpy guys. Nobody wants to play with people who are swearing all the time and yelling at the dealers or berating other players. Don't be that guy. Have fun. Life's too short, like I said. The second one for me is study, study, study. It's like anything else. If you're going to be good at it, it's going to take work. So for me personally, as I mentioned before, I love to study, and if I get to the point where I won't study anymore, then I shouldn't play anymore. Well, the next one would be keep detailed records. I keep very, very detailed records of every single game that I play. I'll tell you one thing. You show me a guy or a woman who doesn't keep records, and I'll show you a player who absolutely loses. The players who don't keep records, they don't keep records for a reason, because they're losing. They also don't work at the game, and they don't want to see where they could get better. So I absolutely keep very detailed records and won't play unless I do. Third one is don't play scared. You can never ever win if you play scared. If you're afraid to put your money in or whatever, you're not going to win. Don't play at stakes that are above you, because that will make you play scared. So don't play scared. Next one is don't blame anyone. Don't blame the cards. Don't blame the dealers. When you are losing, or when you lose, blame yourself. There's always a reason you can find of something that you could have done better or worse. The minute you start blaming other people is the minute you're going to stop growing and getting better at the game. And finally, number one rule for me, which I've told my son many, many times, is if you can't take getting beat, then don't play. You're going to get 2-outed. You're going to get 1-outed. You're going to get runner-runnered. You're going to take a terribly bad beat when it was for moving up quite a bit in money. It's going to happen. So if it's going to happen, then you better be able to take it. It also, if you can't take it, then emotionally it ruins the rest of your game. So if you're going to play, be able to take getting beat.
Hey guys, we're going to go back a little bit into the archive for this hand. So I am playing at the 2017 World Series of Poker in the seniors event, $1,000 tournament. We're on day 3, so we're already in the money. There was 5,389 players that started, so day 3 started with 71 players left, and we're down to 52 when this hand happens. So I am under the gun. I have 600,000. Again, the average is about 520,000, so I'm right in the middle of the pack. I have ace of spades, 10 of clubs, and I raised to 52,000. Bill Klein, very famous multi-millionaire poker player, is to my left, and he shoves all in for 225,000. So then it folds to the small blind, and the small blind says call and throws in a 10,000 chip, as though he thought it were a limped pot, even though there was already a raise and then a re-raise all in. So they called the floor over. The floor, of course, said, you said call, you've got to call the whole 225,000, which he did with not very many complaints or anything. And he has a big, big stack. He's got like 1.4 million. And then the big blind folds. So it's back to me, and I have to make a decision. So I am very, very confused. You're telling me that a guy who has 1.4 million in chips, 53.89 started, we're down to 52, he's probably in the top 15 in chips, he's so unaware that he doesn't know that there's a raise and then a re-raise all in? I was not sure of that. I honestly thought he has got to be angling. Nobody could make that mistake when they had played, obviously had played well, or was a good player. I mean, he had a big chip stack. So I was very, very confused. So for me, it was 173,000 to win 540,000 if I were to make the call. Of course, I'm getting like, that would be getting like 3 to 1, a little bit better than 3 to 1. Basically, I have to make the decision that says I'm either going to fold or I'm going to shove. I'm not going to play this pot with ace-10 offsuit without either re-raising or I'm just not going to play. So I went in the tank. Probably tanked for 3.5 minutes trying to figure out, is he really angling? Did he just make a mistake? Do I want to put my chips on the line? Eventually, I folded. I just could not get over the fact that how could someone make this kind of mistake? Well, that danged old guy, he didn't angle. He did make a mistake. I don't know how in the world that's possible, but he had Jack of diamonds, 8 of diamonds. So Bill Klein ended up winning the pot, and he actually used that as part of the springboard. He ended up finishing 11th, which is a really good cash, and he used that hand as part of what really got him going. But what makes me sick is I would have won the hand. The board ran out Queen Jack 998, and I would have had a straight. So gosh, I think what would have been, if I had won that hand, I'd have gone from 600,000 to 1.1 million, which probably was, again, somewhere in the top 15 or so in chips, and it might have been different. I might have won the tournament, I might have made final table, whatever. But the reality of it was I was happy with my decision, and I still think it was the right decision. I would have liked the results better had I called, but in reality I thought my decision was correct. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts. This was definitely probably the most unusual hand that I played in the World Series of Poker.
So if you're watching my vlogs and you happen to see me at a table, I play it regularly at WinStar. Sometimes I play Choctaw for the major tournaments like the WSOP circuit and things like that. But if you see me, come up and say hi. I'd love to meet new people, and I'd love to hear what you think.